within, they hold me tight. In the dark, I lose my fight.
Chapter 11. Echoed Silence. Carla blocking him didn't surprise David. Not really. By then, nothing she did. His mind was a twisted place, hollowed by confusion, guilt, and sleepless nights. The days that followed were a blur, just him wandering around in a numb daze, aimless walks without purpose, drifting between rooms like a ghost in his own life. He ate nothing, slept even less. His body moved, but his spirit wasn't in it anymore. Then the message came. A single notification from Carla. His heart punched against his chest. He didn't open it. Couldn't. For hours he just stared at his phone, the screen lighting up again and again as if taunting him. His brain swirled with questions. Was she sorry? Did she want to talk? Had she finally realized what she'd done to him? Hope was a cruel thing. David sat in her old room. The silence buzzed in his ears. He couldn't bring himself to tap the screen. He was trying to prepare his heart, to gather the shattered pieces and hold them still, just in case. Finally, he opened the message. It wasn't a message. It was a picture. And whatever part of David still had a heart, it died then. His lungs stopped working. His face burned. He forgot how to breathe until instinct forced air back into his chest. His hands shook. The phone slipped. He picked it up and deleted the photo before he could fully process what he saw, but it was already carved into him. Then, as if chasing a ghost, he pulled up old photos, him and Carla, laughing, holding hands, her head on his shoulder, a fragile happiness frozen in time. It wasn't always bad, he reminded himself. She helped me a lot back then, especially at the start, but those memories only deepened the ache. Now they were just evidence of something that once felt real, and maybe never was. His mind slowed. Cold clarity set in. He glanced down. Below him was Carla's bedside drawer. He knew what was in it. They'd been to the shooting range together. She always kept it loaded, said it made her feel safe. He opened the drawer and picked it up. It felt heavier than he remembered. He stared at their pictures again, but now all he felt was fear. Grief that didn't burn. It hollowed. Resentment, yes, but not hatred. Something worse. The realization that the love he fought for may have never really existed. He had tried. God, had he tried. He fought harder than any man should have to fight. For her children, for the future he dreamed about every night alone in bed, praying she'd finally let him back in. But now he knew. He was done sacrificing his truth just to keep her anger quiet, done pretending she ever really saw him. The only thing that had kept him sane through it all was the story. He had been writing it, every heartbreak, every betrayal, every lonely night. He turned it all into words. He told the truth, his truth, on paper. It may have made him feel crazy, but it was the only thing that kept him from falling apart completely. He left one final note with it, a truth for everyone to read. Everyone but her. David realized he had to become a ghost to Carla, and there was only one way ghosts are made. His thoughts looped over and over. Maybe she did care. Maybe she was right about him being the villain, or maybe she was just as cruel as he feared. It didn't matter anymore. He was already gone. A loud sound like a beautiful soul sometimes only leaves an echoed silence after. David hadn't exactly been the happiest of children, though by all appearances he should have been. He had a home filled with love, a yard to play in, a family that cared. He wasn't neglected, he wasn't abused. He was, in many ways, lucky. But even as a child, something inside him was quiet and heavy. In retrospect, he probably had depression, though no one would have ever known. It wasn't the sort of thing people talked about back then, especially not in children. He smiled often enough, got decent grades, never caused trouble. But there was always that low hum of sadness beneath the surface, a strange shadow that followed him, even in the brightest parts of his youth. He kept that darkness tucked away, folded inside like an old letter he never dared read aloud. He didn't want to worry anyone, especially not his mother. She was the light in his world. In David's eyes, she was the greatest person alive. Soft-spoken, but strong. Gentle in ways that made you feel safe just by standing near her. She made the world feel manageable, lovable even. His father was a good man too, stern but fair. He worked hard, provided, hugged his kids even when he didn't have the words. David respected him deeply. His siblings brought chaos and joy in equal measure, squabbles over toys, games that stretched into dusk, laughter that still echoed in the corners of his memory. They were a team, a little tribe bound by blood and imagination. David had a beautiful childhood. He knew that. And that truth made his sadness feel even stranger, like guilt layered over grief. Why am I like this? He had wondered, alone in his room, listening to the muffled sounds of life beyond his door. But the woods helped. He loved the woods. There he could breathe, could pretend, could imagine himself as an explorer, trekking through wild lands in search of treasure and lost civilizations. Sticks became swords, trees became towers, every rustle in the brush was a clue. Every stone he turned over might hide something ancient. Those adventures became his sanctuary. The world made sense out there. He was in control. Sometimes he'd kick a soccer ball in the air, counting each bounce off his foot, challenging himself to beat his last record. And in his mind, he wasn't just a boy in the backyard. He was a star athlete in a roaring stadium, fans chanting his name with every bounce of the ball. That's how he wanted to be remembered. Not as the man who fell apart, not as the one who broke down in adulthood, consumed by love and grief and betrayal, but as the child who kicked the ball with wild joy in his heart, imagining he was something greater. Because deep down, David believed everyone. Every angry man, every cruel woman, every broken soul was just that same innocent child, once full of dreams and light, who grew up too fast and made too many mistakes along the way. Even when he stopped believing in himself, he never stopped believing in that. Sometimes a moment can lead to one last mistake. Some moments can make you forget love.
There's a house with the lights turned low, and a shadow that never learned to go. I folded my name in a paper boat, set it drifting down a dream I wrote. You wore the wind like a wedding veil, smoking stars and silver trails. But I built my fire with words unsaid. Now ash and silence share my bed. I was rain in your desert, a song you forgot. You were the echo, and all that I'm not. I gave you my story, but not all the lines. Now I'm just a paper ghost between the pines. Walked through mirrors and called it love, tried to carve a truth from what never was. But glass will bleed when you hold it wrong, and hope hums quiet when it's been too long. I was rain in your desert, a thread you cut